Hey everybody, it's Dr. Mark. I'm so happy to be here with my good friend Emily Fletcher, who's an extraordinary woman. She's an incredible Broadway performer in her past life, and now she teaches the world how to meditate. And the reason I wanted to talk to you and have Emily come along is because I've recently rediscovered meditation through Emily, and I want to sort of tell you the story about it and why it impacted me. Because I met Emily at an event where we both were lecturing in Greece, which is awesome. And she was talking about meditation. I'm like, I studied Buddhism. I used to meditate a lot. I did 10-day retreats where I would meditate 12 hours a day. I did Zen Buddhism meditation. I was a yoga teacher. I did tons of yoga. I still do a lot of yoga. And I thought, oh, that's good enough. And I also, found that I like to do things to relax. And I talk about de-stressing, and I talk about relaxation, and I teach about this all the time. And I have my own little tricks. I do my hot baths with Epsom salt. I do yoga. I get massages. I do exercise. I just go in nature. I do all kinds of things to help me de-stress. And, I began to kind of think, well, I'm too busy to meditate because, I run the Cleveland Clinic Center for Functional Medicine. I've got my own practice in Lenox. I write books. I'm the chairman of the Institute for Functional Medicine. I do a lot of stuff. And I'm like, I have time to exercise. I got to eat right. It's like too many things. I got to sleep 8 hours. I'm like, don't have time to meditate. I'm doing good. Like, I'm not stressed. I feel good. And the truth was that, Emily just really touched me, and she helped me to sort of understand that maybe I was kind of fooling myself. And maybe that it wasn't even that. Maybe there was a way for me to actually be even better, like to feel better, to do better, to be more happy. And I didn't think that I was stressed. I didn't think I was anxious. I didn't think that I felt agitated. I did have some issues sleeping because I was running around so much. But I really went to Emily. I was like, listen, I think I might kind of need your help. So, we had a great time in Greece. We became friends. We did a little meditation there, and it touched me. And we had a great time on the boat. We danced. She was my dance-off partner. We had like this great dance-off. And then when we got back from Greece, I'm like, hey, Emily, like I really think I want to do this. And she was kind enough to actually teach me how to meditate again. And it wasn't something that I actually didn't know how to do. I actually did TM. My sister had a boyfriend who was a TM teacher when I was like 15, so back in the 70s, which is a long time ago. It tells you how old I am. And she taught me then how to meditate. And I used to do TM, which is this Vedic kind of meditation. So I was familiar with it, but I really feel like, when I went with Emily, I recommitted to it. And I just sort of want to tell you a little bit about what happened, and then I want to sort of start to get into it with Emily, because she's just such an extraordinary human, great teacher, and she's just offering some great stuff. And I want to share all about it because I'm so excited. It's just changed my life. So I just want to share it with you guys. So I was like, okay, I'm going to commit to this. I'm going to commit to 20 minutes twice a day, which sounds insane because how could I do 20 minutes twice a day? Because I'm running around, I got meetings, I'm all over the place, and I was like, no, I'm going to do this. I can do this. And so she taught me again, and then sort of gave me my mantra. It's basically this ancient technique. She'll tell you about it, but it's pretty straightforward. And I started doing it. I've been doing it for now about over 2 months, a little over 2 months. And what I found is super surprising. So I didn't actually realize how I was feeling before, and I think the way I changed was I started feeling it's like Dan Harris talks about 10% happier. He wrote this book, 10% happier, and we started meditating, had a panic attack on TV. And he's like, well, now I started meditating, I'm 10% happier. And I felt the same experience. I just felt happier. I felt calmer. I felt less anxious. I have way more going on, but it doesn't affect me the same way. I'm sleeping better. I have more energy. And the truth is, even if I don't sleep, if I meditate, I feel like I just had 3 hours of nap. It's unbelievable. If I could lay down for 20 minutes and close my eyes, that wouldn't do it. But if I actually meditate for 20 minutes, I feel like I got a whole new evening back. So I've been hiding in conference rooms at Cleveland Clinic. I've been doing it in the car and parking lots. I have friends drive if we go to meetings, since I'm just going to do it in the car while we're going somewhere. I do it on the airplane. It's so freaking portable. And it's not like I have to be on a cushion in some temple with the incense burning and like everything perfect. It's like there could be all kinds of noise and craziness going around, but like I just go into my little happy place and it's like awesome. So I really wanted Emily to talk about it because, you know, she had her own experience. You know, she was on Broadway. She had issues that she had to struggle with, and then she discovered meditation. Now she teaches everywhere. She's like teaching at Google and Harvard Business School. She's taught at Dave Asprey's biohacking conference. We were all in Greece together. It was super fun. She's been written about in the New York Times, Elle Magazine. She's named one of the top 100 women in wellness to watch, and she's helped like thousands of high performers get integrating this model into their life. And I love that saying, which is do less, accomplish more. Like it's like I wish I could explain to people how it's affected me, because like I would often kind of get tired at the end of the day because it was a long day, and now I just feel like my whole universe has changed. And even if it's like, forget about getting enlightened, but just like managing my life, like I just feel like it's helped me so much just be happier, more productive, and not feel wiped out. And I feel like I get a whole new energy at night to go have fun and do stuff that's awesome. So welcome, Emily.
Wow.
Sorry, that was a lot. I had to go on.
You're hired. I'm going to hire you as my publicist and PR person and be like, just what he said. All right, who wants to meditate? It's such an inspiring story. And really, like, bravo. There's two things that really strike me about what you just shared. One is, like, you're already performing at such a high level. You're already changing so many lives and changing healthcare. And the fact that this is making you perform even better is honestly why I do what I do. And then the second thing that strikes me is the fact that you've been studying this stuff for years. I mean, you majored in Buddhism, you were a yoga teacher, and you've been meditating, and you, an expert of experts, had the level of humility to go into something with beginner's mind. And I think that makes all of the difference. And it's so inspiring to hear your story, and it honestly makes my heart so happy. So thank you.
Yeah, it's so great. It's just like this, I feel like this huge gift that I got, and I wasn't expecting it. And I kind of, I always knew that, it should be the one thing I add to my life. And I'm like, I can't add one more frickin' thing to my day. Like, I just cannot add one more thing to my day, because I have, like, if anybody knew actually how much I did, like, they would go, Dr. Hyman, you're a crazy man. And I'm kind of a crazy man, but everybody kind of knows that anyway. But I think that I found that it actually helps me do exactly what you said. I can do less and accomplish more. If I take those 40 minutes a day, it's like I get an extra 3 hours of focused, productive, conscious time, and the quality of the rest of my time is different. So it's like it bleeds into everything. It's like it's not like, I just meditate and then I go about my life. It's like it's sort of after a while. And the first, like you said when you taught me, the first few weeks, I didn't feel good. Like, it was like, I think I was stressed and I didn't know it, and then my nervous system was unwinding, and my whole, like, I think I kind of realized my whole even brain and my emotions and my nervous system was sort of reorganizing. Yeah. And I actually felt a little depressed and weird. And I didn't connect the dots until after, when I remembered you saying that to me, and I was like, oh, that's what that was. Because I'm like, now I feel fine. I'm like, what happened to me? And yes. So I just feel like, the point is, I didn't, even though I thought I was good and chill and like life was good, like I didn't actually know how I was feeling until I started feeling better. I often say that with my patients when they go on a detox, I'm like, or they get healthy, I'm like, you actually don't know how bad you feel until you start feeling good. Right? And it was the same experience I had.
Yeah, stress is like, when you have an AC on in the background, it's just like a buzzing, and you don't even know that it's on until you turn it off. And you see that clarity, and that's how I feel most people feel about stress. So let's talk a little bit about this do less, accomplish more, like why meditation can actually help you perform better.
Yeah, what's up with that? What's up with that?
Stress is costing our bodies and our brains something. We think that, I need my stress, it gives me my competitive edge, or I need my stress. I teach a lot of artists and CEO types, and my actors think, well, I need my stress, I need my hurdy-poos, that's what makes me create. And my executives think, well, I need my stress because that's the thing that keeps me in the game. But it's the opposite. Stress makes you stupid. And because it's costing your brain so much. If we want to look at why the human body reacts to stress in the way that it does, cut back in time a few thousand years, say we're hunting and gathering in the woods, saber-toothed tiger jumps out at us, body launches into a series of chemical reactions. First thing that happens is digestion floods with acid to shut down digestion because you need all hands on deck to fight or flee the predatory attack. That same acid seeps onto your skin so you don't taste very good. Your blood starts to thicken and coagulate. Your bladder and bowels evacuate. Your immune system goes to the back burner because, like, who cares if you're going to get cancer if you're about to be killed by a tiger? And then your adrenaline levels and cortisol levels jack, which are acidic in nature, which leads to inflammation, which I'm sure your people know that that's no bueno. And so it's like this series of chemical reactions is good for you if your demands are saber-toothed tigers. But if your demands are in-laws or deadlines or breakups or traffic or red eyes, then this fight or flight stress reaction has become maladaptive and it's now disallowing us from performing at the top of our game. And since meditation is the most powerful stress relieving tool we have, once you go in and start clearing out that adrenaline and cortisol, it's like you're giving yourself your computing power back. You know, if you think about the brain as a computer, when you're stressed, it's running all these irrelevant programs, which if you go to type an email, then the cursor is 20 spaces behind.
Yeah.
Right? And it's like, oh, stupid computer, can't even run an email. I can't even focus on a conversation. I can't even remember why I picked up my phone. And it's like the meditation goes in and closes out all those irrelevant windows so that you have more computing power for the task at hand. And it's that increase in mental and physical energy that allows you to do less and accomplish more. Like life just gets more elegant, more easy. And to your point, you start enjoying it more.
Yeah, it's so shocking. And now I hate to say it, I'm kind of a little addicted to it.
Yeah, get addicted.
I'm like, why? I just make it happen. You know, like I think in 2 months, there's probably 2 or 3 afternoons where I just couldn't make it happen or it got too late. But, you know, I just figure it out. Like I just sit in my office at work, or I just, you know, just close the door, or just wait, you know, I'm just late for dinner, or like whatever. Like I just feel like it's such a value add to my well-being. Like, okay, it makes me more productive and all that, but like the quality of my experience changes. Like my ability to be present, be in the world, do the things I want to do, show up for people, care about the things I care about, not get overwhelmed. Like I function at a really high level, but like it just really just like, wow. Like I was like, okay, like I know that eating great is awesome. Okay, I got that nailed, and I know how to do that, and I focus on that. I know exercise is important, so I do that, and sleep is important. But like, you know, I would not have ever believed the magnitude of the effect of this. Like I thought, oh, you know, like I know if I eat like a donut, I'm gonna feel crappy. But like I don't know if I meditate, whatever, it's like big deal. Like I do yoga and I do all this other stuff to relax, and I. You know, but it's just not the same.
Yeah.
And I still do yoga and do all those other things, but like it's just not the same. Like there's some quality, and I don't. Maybe you can help me explain, like, to people, what is it? Because like I, you know, could lay down, take a nap. I could do yoga for 20 minutes. Like it's not the same as 20 minutes of this deep meditation. And people go, I can't meditate because I keep thinking, well, of course I do too. Everybody does. That's normal. But like you keep coming back to this mantra, which is just a word, like a meaningless word that you just say it's a sound, but it has the vibrational quality. But like, what is going on that actually changes your nervous system like that?
Mm-hmm. So in the style of meditation that I teach at Ziva, you're accessing a verifiable fourth state of consciousness. So it's different than waking, it's different than sleeping, and it's different than dreaming. And in this state of consciousness, you're getting rest that's somewhere between 2 to 5 times deeper than sleep. There's different scientific studies that say differing, you know, degrees of that. But I actually think that if you're in like some lab being studied with like rectal thermometers and cameras on your eyes, chances are you're not having the deepest meditation of life.
Okay.
So
yeah.
I think that, you know, when you're just doing it on your couch at your home, you may actually be getting sleep or rest that's even deeper than that. But
yeah, I definitely don't do meditation with a rectal thermometer at
yeah,
home.
you don't recommend that as your
not recommend that.
But so basically, you're, like you said, there's a mantra, which is like a meaningless primordial sound, but it actually is the sound quality of the mantra that helps to de-excite the nervous system. And I know that sounds a little hippy-dippy or a little weirdo, but there's actually, if you want to look at this, there's like some YouTube videos you could watch on cymatics, cymatics, which is the science of sound. Yeah. And they'll have a sheet and they'll put a thing of sand on it, and they'll play it with a violin bow, and the sand will take all these beautiful sacred geometric shapes. So same thing, this mantra is de-exciting the nervous system. When you de-excite something, you create order. And when you create order in your cells, it's like all the stress that we've been holding in our cellular memory for our whole lives starts to leave the building. And that's why for the first few weeks, you felt a little bit like you said, like your nervous system was rearranging a little bit. It's almost like emotional detox. Most of us have some stuff stored in here. You know, there was a dog that barked in our face when we were 5, or our parents got divorced when we were 12, and we hold that stuff in our cells whether we want to or not. So the meditation goes in, and I like to think about it like it's bringing you out. And so, yes, it's kind of intense in the beginning, and I think that's why it's really good to have some guidance, to have someone to help you through that, because it can be quite intense. But then, like to your point, once you move through it, it's like life is brighter, life is clearer. You start functioning better, and you start enjoying yourself more because your body isn't working so hard to handle the stress.
So it's just so shocking to me. Like I feel like an idiot, honestly, because. I taught people to. I tell people to meditate. I thought, but this is very different than like regular meditation. Like it's just something different about it. And I said I study Buddhism. That's more mindfulness meditation, which is I think very powerful and effective. John Kabat-Zinn has done a ton of work on this, but it's like there's a certain when you do Zen meditation, like sit up straight, you have to be in your cushion, like you have to be like perfect, and like you can't scratch your nose, and like it's like it's like if it's noise, like it's just hard, and like if you're in a retreat in the woods, and like that's fine, but this is so like portable in a crazy life, which is. And you can, your body is relaxed, you can lean up against something, you're not like all perfect, you can kind of slump, and like you get into this like other way of being that is, and it's so different. Like can you explain like why is that like so different?
Sure. So there's thousands of different styles of meditation. Most of them fall under one of two umbrellas. What we would call mindfulness, which is like a directed focus style of meditation. And then there's what I teach at Ziva, which is more of like, I like to call it the lazy man's meditation.
Yeah.
But it's actually the busy man's meditation, right? Because it's designed to be portable. It's designed to be integrated into your life. And you don't have to have a cave and incense and finger symbols to do it. Like all you need is a chair or an airplane seat or a bus or something. And so mindfulness is more of a waking state practice. Mindfulness is where you're directing your focus, right? Like you're either looking at a flame, or you're counting your breath, or you're visualizing your chakras, or visualizing some lovely scene, but you're directing your focus in a certain way. Whereas what I teach is more of a surrendering practice. And I know that people do not like the word surrender because we think it means giving up or quitting. But it's actually, it's a beautiful series of letting go and trusting that nature has your back and allowing your body to settle into this deep rest. And then the beautiful byproduct is that not only are you flooding your brain with dopamine and serotonin, which are bliss chemicals, because you're giving your body this deep rest, when you come out of it, you're actually more awake, more conscious. And so I actually find that you become more mindful, you become more present as a byproduct of doing this lazy man's meditation, because you're actually getting rid of stress in the nervous system.
And the thing was so great about it, you talked to me about it, was like your mind's going to keep going. It's like I can sit there for 20 minutes and I might think about like the 40 things I got to do and the people I'm wanting to talk to and the this and that, and like, I mean, maybe half of it or more could be completely distracted by that. And I still, at the end, I'm still like, wow, that was amazing, because like, I don't know what's happening in there, but like, and it's like, it's so if people go, I can't meditate because I can't stop thinking. And I'm like, it's not stopping thinking. It's just like coming back and coming back and coming back. It's like, right?
Yes. So thank you for bringing that up, because I think that's actually the number one misconception around meditation. I hear every day, Emily, I want to meditate. I get that it's good for me. There's so much science around it, but I can't stop my crazy mind from thinking. So I'm on a bit of a warpath to like retrain people's ideas about meditation. So think about this. The mind thinks, I mean, I know you know this, but I just want to share this with everybody, because I think it can be game changing. But the mind thinks involuntarily, just like the heart beats involuntarily. Right, so imagine how ridiculous it would be to sit down to meditate and be like, okay, heart, stop beating. Like, that's ridiculous. Or like, okay, nails, stop growing. Like, that's not up to you. Right? And yet this is the criteria by which most of us are judging our meditations. We're like, okay, brain, stop thinking. I sure would like a snack. I love snacks. Snacks are delicious. And then you're just like thinking, and then you feel like failure, and then you quit.
Yeah.
And so, like you said, has nothing to do with stopping your mind from thinking. No one meditates to become a good meditator. We don't meditate to get good at meditation. We meditate to get good at life.
Yeah, that's cool. So like people are watching and they're going, oh, this sounds great. You figured it out, but I'm so busy. Like I don't have time to meditate. What's your advice for like how should they get started? Like what if they struggle? Like sometimes I'm too busy to meditate. Like what are you going to tell them?
Okay, so two things. My new favorite thing to say to people that think they're too busy to meditate is if Oprah has time to meditate, you have time to meditate. And now I'm going to say if Dr. Mark Hyman has time to meditate, you have time to
That's
meditate.
funny. Yeah. Well, it's like I show this cartoon. It's like, what do you have more time for? Exercising 1 hour a day or being dead 24 hours a day?
That's good. That's really good. So, I think that we think we're too busy to meditate because we don't want to meditate because we don't know how to do it and we feel like we're failing. And no one's going to make time for something that they feel like they're failing at.
Yeah.
So, and obviously I'm a meditation teacher, so I'm biased, but I really think it makes a difference to get some training, right? Like to sit down and try to imagine if I were to be like, okay, for 20 minutes twice a day, we're going to speak Japanese.
Yeah.
We're going to challenge. And if you don't know how to speak Japanese, that's really dumb. But if you know how to speak Japanese, then that's real fun, right? But you got to learn. And so meditation's like any other skill. It takes a little bit of training. And so, I teach in person in New York and LA, but what started happening is that a lot of my students were like, Emily, my cousin lives in Idaho. He doesn't have access to a teacher. I really want him to learn. And so I made this online training. It's called Ziva Mind, and it's about 20 minutes a day for 8 consecutive days. And it's a matriculation. It's step by step, and it's training you how to be self-sufficient.
It's like Emily in a box, basically.
Yeah,
except
exactly.
It's
Emily
online.
on demand.
Emily on demand. I like that.
It's a video training. So by the end of it, you graduate and you have the practice to take with you for life. You can meditate in a car, on a bus, on a plane, in a meeting. I mean, not in a meeting, but maybe in a conference room after your meeting. And then there's also some guided visualizations on there, like for traveling or insomnia or stress release or for performance. And that's called Ziva Mind. So, I mean, obviously I'm biased, but I really think it makes a difference to get a bit of training because meditation is like any other skill.
Yeah.
It's a little training, a little practice, but then once you know how to do it, it's something you look forward to.
So great. Yeah. I mean, it's interesting. The plane thing you told me about, like, because I fly a lot.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you like meditate when you take off, meditate when you land. I'm like, sometimes if it's a short flight, I just like once when I'm on my way down. And normally when I get off the plane, it's just like there's no oxygen, it's dehydrating, you're traveling, it's airports, it's annoying, you get stressed, and I usually feel a little drained after all that. And now I kind of land, I'm like meditating, I'm like, okay, ready to go. It's like what happened? It's like it changed everything, right? So it's almost like I don't have time not to meditate now.
Boom.
If I want to enjoy my life and be happy and effective, and work, I mean, if I'm like, I have something to write or I'm like working on the plane, and if I'm like a little foggy or tired, I just meditate for 20 minutes, I wake up, I'm like, wow, it's like, boom, I get like right into it, and it's totally like, it's like drinking 6 cups of coffee without feeling like speedy, except you're just alert and focused and calm. And it's like, wow, who needs all that coffee? And the coffee doesn't even work. It's like,
I can't even drink coffee anywhere. I mean, don't tell Dave, but it makes me crazy because I feel like I have this sustainable energy. And actually, a lot of students report not even turning on their coffee makers for weeks after taking the class because they're not exhausted anymore. I hear you. I think the jet lag thing, like how meditation cures jet lag, is like the price of admission, and it also cured my insomnia. I know we didn't really talk too much about that, but I was on Broadway for 10 years having crazy insomnia. First day, first class, meditation cured my insomnia, and that was years ago. And so I was like, I'm in. So
I don't know if I told you this story, but I met with the Surgeon General recently to help him with food policy and, talking about some of the initiatives. And he came to Cleveland Clinic and he gave a talk about his work. And we got to hang out for a while. He's like awesome, friendly, great guy, and I'm like, what are your initiatives? He's like, well, I have, emotional well-being. I want to deal with food, and we deal with this opioid addiction that we have in America. And I'm like, well, emotional being. Well, what are you talking about? He says, well, meditation. I want to get everybody meditating. I'm like, really? He says, yeah. In fact, our entire office, we got someone come in, trained them in meditation. They do Vedic meditation, and everybody meditates twice a day in the Surgeon General's office. And they take a break in the afternoon, and they do it. And I'm like, we're standing there with the chief of staff of Cleveland Clinic, and they deal with physician burnout. It's tough. Working in Cleveland is hard. It's an awesome place, but doctors and staff, caregivers are, really work hard. And I'm like, I said, and the chief of staff, I was like saying, well, why don't we get the entire Cleveland Clinic meditating?
Yes.
So I got excited about that. I think we'll start with my center. We're going to start with my center. You're going to help me with that. But, I just think it's such a powerful thing, and it's not that hard to learn. So we have a few minutes left. I really want you to explain this Ziva Mind, because I went online and looked at it. And it looks like awesome. It's like every day there's a different curriculum, and it guides you through it. It's sort of goof-proof. It's like, you just follow it, and like at the end you kind of know what you're doing. And and I got the privilege of being able to do this with you in person, but this almost looks better, to be honest.
It's easier time-wise, because to learn with me in person, it's like 2 hours a day for 4 days, but this is like 20 minutes in the morning. You do it before breakfast, and each day builds upon the previous day, and it really is training you to be self-sufficient. So by the time you graduate, it's 8 days, 20 minutes a day. You have a practice, you have a mantra, and you'll know how to do this thing every day. It culminates in a 15-minute twice-a-day practice, and then you'll also have some guided visualizations to help for like takeoff and landing of the plane, for insomnia, for stress release. So it's basically zivamind.com, and once you go into it, there's a beautiful online community, and that's where people can access me, and if they have questions, and get support not only from me, but our beautiful global tribe of meditators. And I'm really proud. And I also made a special thing for your for your friends and family. For your community. And it's so there's a $51 discount, and when they check out at zivamind.com, they can just enter the code HEALTH, all caps, HEALTH.
Can't beat that.
Yeah.
Meditate for less. I like that.
Yeah, meditate for less. So also, I just wanted to say, I'm so thankful for you, and your enthusiasm is so inspiring to me. And I know that so many people in your tribe have already, invested in their wellness, and I really believe in this thing. Like, I think that once you get your mind right, it makes it so much easier to make healthy choices about your food and your exercise. Because when we're stressed, it's exhausting, and it's like costing us our willpower.
Yeah.
This thing is in alignment. And I have a joke where I'm like, if you wake up and meditate, you're a lot less likely to end your day doing cocaine off of a hooker.
Wow. Well, I've never done that, so I don't know if it would.
Not your eye, but it's just like, your day's not going to devolve into like donuts and reality TV. Probably, if you started your day with meditation, you're going to be like, oh, I think I'll go to the gym, or do something else that's good for you.
Right. It changes your choices about everything else, whether it's food or whatever it is. It's like it helps whatever the thing that's an issue, whether it's relationships or food or work, or it's pretty interesting. And it's like I might sound like an evangelist, and I might sound crazy because, like, what are you talking about, Dr. Hyman? Like, but I'm just telling you guys, like, sleep, eating, exercise, and it's like rocket fuel to everything else. So
yeah, like everything else is going to take care of itself. Your life is going to be amazing.
Yeah.
And also, I just wanted to mention, we're doing a free online masterclass. It's called Stress Less, Accomplish More, kind of like our Do Less, Accomplish More. So if people just want to learn my style of teaching a little bit, there will be a link, underneath this video. If people want to join, I'd love to have you on that Stress Less, Accomplish More masterclass. Yeah,
awesome. So thank you, Emily, for sharing your wisdom and your teaching and making it fun and easy and accessible. And I encourage everybody to go check it out. Just check out zivamind.com. Check out Emily's stuff. She rocks. I totally love Emily. She's just, changed my life, and we're just having a great time playing and having a good time, thinking about how to make the world a better place. And I feel honestly bad because I feel like I've sort of neglected this in terms of things that I done myself, and I think I haven't emphasized it enough, but I didn't quite understand the power of it, particularly in a very crazy, busy life. And now I would say, like, I can't live without it. So thank you, Emily.
It's my pleasure. Thank you.